welcome to another episode of the Seven Show. Today we have Piyush from Avantis. I think many of you are aware of Avantis because it's either perp or base or Avantis in the timelines, particularly after the last 1 week's crash. Uh, we will discuss mainly around how Avantis become a super success, the very nice TG launch, their inception on base, the plans now, and the overall perps market. We like to first introduce Piyush. Piyush, super thanks. I know you're super busy. You guys just have some campaigns which are being going live. Avantis season 3 is going, and you just mentioned there, you guys are expanding into other markets. But yeah, thanks for taking out this time and doing this with us. Welcome.
Absolutely. I mean, like you guys have been friends for a long time, especially Pan have known Path for the longest of times. Even before Avantis. In fact, the job interview I was going to, missing like one of our hangout sessions was the job interview for Avantis the next day. So yeah, absolutely a pleasure.
Awesome. I think Piyush, before we start, just vibing with all the conversations, I'd like to know a little bit about you, like how you came into crypto. Have you, the space you have explored before crypto, if you are, and how Avantis happened. We'd like to know that story also from you.
Yeah, I mean, it is like getting into crypto was never a plan. It was never like sort of something I sort of manifested. It was always like from childhood. I've been very tech savvy. I've like explored new things in the realm of tech. Um, my main reason of getting into cryptos like data, and then there being no privacy of data, right? Like Google, like all these big companies use you as their product, sell your data and earn money out of it. I was kind of mad at it. Like I was like, there must be a better solution. There must be a transparent solution to do things, to live your lives. And yeah, I mean, like finance was something like just before lockdown. Finance was something I was getting into. Like as my 12th standard, something like that. It was something I was getting into, very interested about it. And I realized that okay, school won't really be of use anymore to me. College won't really teach me a lot of things. So let's try to do something. And like obviously, like every other first year college student, I was like inspired by Steve Jobs, wanted to start a company and all of that. And yeah, I think another thing was that like another reason for getting into crypto was that I didn't really like the usual ways to earn money. I never want to work at a corporate 9 to 5 job. And like sort of seeking escape from this system. I realized that okay, dude, yeah, crypto sounds like a good alternative.
Yep, I think on to that, like as you mentioned your background and thing, how Avantis happened. Like as you mentioned that you didn't discuss about crypto, and you and Part were friends before that. Like where did you find the founders, the project, and the current responsibilities of you at Avantis? How did that thing happen?
I mean, the first thing was that I was very active on. I think I've been on Twitter since 2012, 2013. So like in the like a little infant. Been on Twitter, like an avid reader. I used to write blogs at the age of like 12, 13. I had my own blog Wix site and I would post stuff. I've done all of that. I wanted to be a writer starting out, but then yeah, I realized that writers don't really earn a lot of money. So sort of because I was on Twitter all the time, because I was looking at these tech companies, crypto companies talking, I just was like involved in those conversations a little more. And then it was my chance to get a job, like get a college internship in like the final year of university. Like it was mandatory. So my options were either going to like a bank or like a random university, some random job like Accenture, Deloitte, KPMG. Like KPMG was still like very good, but then those were my only options. That meant like I've seen my friends work at like wake up at 5 a.m. to go to like a 6 a.m. shift in the morning, come back at like 3 p.m., sleep. So I was like, dude, I don't want this. I want a way out. Then I found this company called Now and Me. It is a tech, a mental health company. Think of it as Twitter, but for like mental health related stuff. I joined that company as an intern. I like wrote out a cold email to one of the founders. The founder was like, okay, dude, like we can hire you for free for like 6 months. We'll give you like internship certificate. I was like, okay, dude, this is so cool. But yeah, that's how I sort of got into like startups. And then in that 6 months of being in that company as an intern, I learned so much more about like the startup space. I learned that like these founders are not necessarily insanely skilled as me. They just have more context. They just have clarity of their execution skills that sort of got them there. And then like I had a little more authority when I was talking to like different people in the industry. So right after that, I joined Polygon. So Polygon had this studio called Cope Studio that built internal tools and led external campaigns. So as part of Cope Studio, worked there for like a couple of months. I realized that okay, dude, like this is not cool either. Like this is a lot of Web2 agency work.
I had a question and adding some context. Like I have seen like the learning pattern which is there already, but also like before getting to Avantis, I think you didn't know much about perps as well, or you didn't have
Oh yeah,
extensive knowledge on perps. So I just want to get a look and feel on if someone is starting out in terms of perps or anything. How do you take that route in terms of learning things on their own, or just figuring things out?
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a really good question. Like my first problem, even when applying for the job or like talking to Sahaj, was I was anxious that he won't give me the job, or like I wouldn't be able to have a conversation with him because I don't understand perps. But then like the sort of change of frame I had was, if I, as like a very average crypto consumer, can understand, trade, and even make money on Avantis, I'm pretty sure I can help like many more people with me to do that. And that was my pitch to him, right? Like I told him that I'm a very average crypto consumer, crypto user. I want to build Avantis marketing because that's our target audience. The target audience is people like me who have like $100, $200 to their name. We just want to create, make some money. So he was sold. He was like, okay, yeah, this makes so much sense. Let's do it.
Piyush, on that, I think one important clip I like to ask is very abstract and salesy question, but I think we can definitely, chop this out. That how, if I had $100, how can I make money on Avantis? What will be your suggestion?
I think a huge part of it is luck. You just have to be lucky. And the second part, like with Avantis specifically, is that on Avantis, it's not just crypto. It's markets that makes the most sense to you, right? Like so, forex, for example, if you understand Indian and American relationships, you can trade forex USD INR pair and make money through that, right? So it's more so a tool to amplify your ability to your insights of a market or a geography and make some money out of it.
Cool. Okay. And moving to Avantis, I think you shared started with some interesting yeah, insights about Avantis. That you the first pitch of you to the founder was you want to make Avantis to people like you, us, retail who want to just make money out of it. Few thing which, as I was also mentioning, before getting started, I think Part shared me the invite link of Avantis, I think back last year or maybe just before that. And I used to do perps in, maybe in GMX and others, very little, not, much. And there was always so much influx of information whenever I used to use perps. The best part of Avantis is that it's clean and the UX is super smooth and sleek. Like I'm not now overloaded with information. And I think our base has added to the magic that the transaction fees are very less. And the whenever whenever I hit like some order, it gets placed in like whatever few milliseconds and all the things. You are there with the company for like more than a year and a half, and just want to know like what were the brainstorming sessions like? Just take us through that, because as I was mentioning, there are other platforms which at least me, I think Parth has also mentioned when we were discussing that it felt overwhelmed. Perps, okay. But Avantis just made us, so sleek and easy that I can trade perps anytime, I can close position. It just make it much more retail friendly. What are the conversations with the founders? What are the things you guys prioritize? And how you came up with the product in the initial days?
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant question. A huge credit goes to Tim, who's the in-house single man designer behind Avantis. He built all of this stuff from scratch. And on the information overload bit, right, the problem that a lot of perp DEXs try to solve for is they want to give context to the user so that they can make like a better decision. But conversely, what ends up happening is there are so many moving things, right? Like what I've found intimidating is even those order book things, right? Like someone placed a trade, someone opened the long, someone opened the short. You're like trying to mentally assess, okay, why did you open the long? Why did you open the short? turns out most of the time it's like a market making bot. It's like some bot that's running a strategy, and it's never really like a trader like actually putting in that effort. But yeah, I mean, from Avantis perspective, we've always tried to build user friendly, user first products. And like, if it does not make sense to me, I don't want it on the platform. What's like the most intuitive? So isolated positions is the most intuitive. Like for example, on other pop DEXs, they look at your portfolio PNL and they liquidate you on the basis of portfolio PNL. So like for example, you might have three positions. One position is like good, like $50, 50%, 100% in profit. But if the third position is like in loss, it won't clock out at -100. You can go down to -200% as well, which is just like too confusing for the user. And like if you open two positions at once, both of them will get merged on the same asset. Like that, all of that was very confusing. So we decided to stick to the basics. We decided that we are on base. We have been on base from literally day one. What we need to stand out is like being supremely clear as to what we want and putting it in a very clean UI. So isolated positions is that reason. That colors are the colors that we have is that reason, right? Like to and when you're especially unlocking higher leverages, which was our initial goal, right? Like 500x leverage. If you have 500x leverage, you are already having to make a decision very quickly, and now it's just like amplified. If you have too many things moving, you like will end up losing. And on Avantis with zero fee perps, we only earn money when when our traders earn money, right? We don't earn money when when the traders lose money. So yeah, that was basically the reason behind it.
Got it. I have a question mainly right now looking at there is no right way to do, let's say, a TG, but what do you think went right for Avantis, and what were like any specific measures that you guys took in terms of like trying to get it right?
Well, in the moment, like when we were about to TG, everything felt wrong. Everything was like we don't know what we're doing. We're just hoping that like God is in our favor or something works out well. Because all the roadmap for Avantis TG was Binance Alpha. That was the first news that users got. And historically, every project before Avantis on Binance Alpha got wrecked. Got wrecked day two, right? That was like the crux of the problem. And how we like, right? Well, I can only look back and tell you what went in our favor, but then in the moment, you're like, okay, so we don't know what's happening. Right now, like looking back right now, I think the main thing was just purely the fact that there was Hyperliquid competitor finally. Hyperliquid is an insane product. I really like it. I have nothing but admiration for them. They've managed to like literally create their own lane, build like a Robinhood competitor, which is insane to me. Um, so they Hyperliquid whales, people who have their entire portfolio in Hyperliquid, were actively looking for a place to offload their sort of portfolio, like invest into something different, something new. That's when Avantis TG came into the picture, and then so the slight differentiation between other perp like token launches and Avantis perp launches, token launch was essentially the fact that our community of traders and LPs was very tight, right? We had I think around 40,000 each LP and traders, and we just settled to a bigger market, a bigger hyperliquid pool, bigger perplex pool, right? So and then we timed it well. Like I don't think we intentionally timed anything. It just came to be that things went in our favor. Where yeah, we started like there were good listings. All these listings were very permissionless. We actively like did not try to time any of it again. Things went really well. Things were very smooth. The community was very supportive because there was like our math was we'll always have more token holders than users on our platform, right? Like currently there are around 150K Avant token holders, but our platform has like say 66,000 users, like traders in totality. So we're already always selling to a bigger TAM. And then if our user base is tight and they really believe in what Avantis is doing and holding the token, everyone else is going to be attracted to it and end up holding as well. Yeah, and there was like good support from Base. Coinbase listed us. Coinbase listed us quickly after. The last time Coinbase listed any perp DEX was in 2021. So that was like a good sign. Upbit listed us like immediately as well. Upbit still has not listed any other major perp DEX except Lighter. Yeah, there were a lot of things working in our favor.
Awesome. I think Piyush, as Parth was mentioning that, now you guys had a very solid TG, but now, perp market is, I think beyond chains, I think perp is the number one category which has, most profitable or, which earns money. Number one or two, I'm not updated with the latest metric. I think it should be number two after chains. Uh, PG is done, and perp market is a little bit crowded because of obvious reasons. Uh, for users or for maybe perp traders or, for LPs, why they should use Avantis at this moment? What are their incentives?
Well, so like the way Avantis fits in the entire DEX ecosystem is kind of very perfect. It's like almost poetic. So our intention, like if you can go back to read our like testnet thesis, Avantis uh, pre-fund thesis, Series A seed round thesis, everywhere our goal and intention to building a PopDex was purely for global markets. We were believers in global markets. We were believers that global markets belong on chain. The ability to trade and speculate global markets has to be on chain since like 2020. And now we are looking at all these PopDexes listing Google, Amazon, like all these equities. It's just like a proof that things are working. Um, so where Avantis fits in is you can trade global markets. You can trade markets that literally mean the most to you, and you can trade it with the lowest fees and the highest leverage. So, for example, a person who has been trading CFD, gold, silver, all of that, um, can now come to Avantis with pay like get USD with his crypto with his credit card, start trading, get access to like 250x leverage, cheapest fees in the market, only pay fees when the trades are willing, and else he does not pay fees. And like there's no funding, no borrow fee, no open fee, no close fee, which kind of makes the deal sweeter. They're obviously trying to scale this aspect of global markets, getting all these exotic pairs, uranium, palladium, copper, everything essentially. Um, but yeah, I really like how we are placed and looking to excel from here.
Great. I think, Piyush, if you can, give us some interesting Avantis facts in the sense, which is, the most uh traded pair in the platform, or maybe some wild liquidation you have observed. Maybe somebody has earned 10 million and maybe in the next candle they have lost everything. I think like that you must be knowing, some very spicy stories from Avantis. We want to know a few of them.
Bro, there are so many. I can literally write a book filled with them. Um, the worst liquidation ever was 10-10. Like I personally lost a lot of money. Everyone, like the entire market started crashing really bad. It was very sad. Yeah, it is especially sad watching your traders lose money. Like it's that Three Idiots quote. Where like when your when your friend fails, it's very sad, but when he wins more than you, it's even sadder. So Tente was like very bad. I've seen traders who literally punt $10,000 every trade. So $10,000 collateral, 500x leverage every trade. Either go to like $20,000 closer position or lose all of that. I've seen a trader do this for like 12 hours in a row, literally burning through like millions of dollars, like literally millions of dollars in front of our eyes.
Did he make it at the end? Did he made
Oh,
the
no,
thing?
no, no. He's like completely like so like it gets very tough to sort of be disciplined when you're trading at high leverage. You're constantly thinking that okay, this can I'm pretty sure, and you end up losing the trade. It's kind of sad. What else? What else would you like to know?
Maybe some, interesting trading pairs, which is, maybe I think recently also Ukraine was that uranium, all these metals came, in the platform, like that. Maybe I don't know, maybe some interesting facts. Maybe you in one the uranium has surpassed BTC trades and everything. Some interesting, pairs and everything. Yeah.
I think the biggest, like the three biggest, is very hard to beat with gels. Solana, sorry, BTC, ETH, Solana. BTC, sorry, ETH and Solar like a little comparable, but BTC is in a different league of its own, mainly because we have fees, like zero slippage on BTC. So it's like the cheapest to trade anywhere. Um, but then like the close third is silver recently, and then gold. And USD JPY is another thing that gets us a lot of volume because USD JPY is like the hottest forex coin, and Avantis you can trade it at 1000x leverage. Uh, so yeah, like recently, yeah, people have been. So we have like archetypes of traders. So we have a group of traders that only purely trade forex. They'll only trade ZFP, where they're like, I don't even want to touch any other market. There are people that only want to trade like crude oil or like gold, silver. They don't want to trade anything else, right? Which is a good thing because like they operate independent on the BTC market, right? Like for us, if BTC goes down, we stop doing everything that we're doing. But then yeah, for them they do like, treat it like um, another day at the job and do their job. Yeah.
I just want to switch gears bit on marketing side of things. And as you initially joined as a marketer, how did you see the roadmap in front of you? Also, we can speak a bit about like community side of things and how community building is different in terms of perps.
Yeah. Um, I'll start with the community side of it. For community, the main thing you require is your ability to have patience because these traders that are like coming to you complaining or like um, trying to make a conversation are usually the traders that have lost money. If I've made money on a platform, I'm not going in their Discord server telling them, "Hi, guy, I have made so much money." I'm there if I've lost money, if I'm facing like a hard issue on the platform. So my sort of key to my traders, my community has always been like put traders first. My mods specifically putting traders first, like showing up, right? Like constantly having a line of communication. I actively talk to like 50, 60 traders on daily basis, constantly in their DMs or like replying to tickets, just there. And like conversely, this has helped me the most with marketing, right? Like I spend all day talking to these users, understand their pain points, understand what will make like their life better. And then if I'm able to convey that to the product team and in return build a good product which I can market, that's a win for me. That's how zero fee perps came into the picture as well. That's how a lot of these features, the mini app, that's how it's designed. The mini app, by the way, right now is the biggest mini app on the base app. Like we are number one. Um, it's very powerful for a mini app.
Yeah, I think me personally have also used the mini app on the base app, not being using actively base as a platform after they switch to more of a trading platform than a social. And it was quite active, in like a month or 2 months back. I think all the other mini apps they are very trivial because I was using it. Versus Avantis, you feel it's a full-fledged product. Because I was yeah.
Yeah. So you go.
So I was, as I was mentioning, me and Part before we lost all our money in the October crash, we were very power users of of Avantis. But I think I kind of felt the same, I had the same experience in the in base mini app. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think yeah, dude, like I think the base mini app launch was like a very big sprint. So Parth probably knows this that like I'm a huge mini app supporter. Like in the Farcaster trenches, we would like spend all our days trying to like build mini apps, try out other mini apps, mint NFTs, do all kinds of like fun shit. Um, so yeah, the base mini app launch was like a huge sprint. We sort of were together in Vietnam on a company offsite when we were like building it out as well. So we got to see like the behind the scenes what our developers go through on daily basis. It was really cool.
Cool. I think, Piyush, let's, move a little bit towards the wider perp market. I think we got discussions on the Avantis side and on the little bit on the marketing side, how you build communities. As we were discussing, I think perp is one of the hottest sectors. In spite of, the market being down overall, perps, there is no sign of perps being stopped, right? So, how are you thinking about, how are you envisioning about the perp market? The caveats are that it's a big market, but there are lots of projects. I think, as you mentioned, we all love hyperliquid, but after all, being Avantis, I want that traders are on my platform. There is
Yeah.
thesis, Aster. There is bunch of new platforms. I think Lighter is also doing decent after TG. There is Ostium. There is Ajax. We are pre TG. And they are there. But what's the internal strategy or little bit thinking of Avantis positioning? Is it Are you guys going up the leverage game? Are you planning to expand more, zero fees thing out there? Are you containable one click trade? Like, what's the thesis behind Avantis in this, crowded perp market?
Yeah, man, like very good question again. The main the main thing for us is like what our traders would like thrive like using, and we want to create like a very sort of a platform that covers all grounds, so like gasless one click trading, fast execution, USD as collateral, ability to like trade global markets. That's like the bare minimum. But then we are also aware that we are not the best, like we don't know what a trader in Japan or like what a trading group in Japan would need in their trading platform. That's why we are going ham when it comes to integrations. We want people to actively build, like even especially now with vibe coding, instead of depending on like a platform to add a feature, it's much more faster, easier to like sort of build your own feature and like integrate it on Avantis, right? Like build on top of Avantis SDKs. So that's like a different angle we are chasing as well. Um, Another thing I notice a lot is the edge Avantis has is higher leverage and ability to like ability to trade global markets, and then the entire perp space is very stigmatized, right? Like my problem statement always is that how can I make my sister trade on Avantis? How can I make my parents trade on Avantis? Like I don't want it to be complex. I want it to be like hyper casual. So yeah, we're like moving into this hyper casual finance direction where we are like actively working with around 20 teams of developers who are building out like simpler version of Avantis. Something I built was YOLO trade.fun, trade YOLO.fun, which is essentially like a picker wheel where you click a button, it rolls something. You're like you get a random market leverage direction. It just opens that trade immediately. You can either make money or lose money. So it's going into a very light, very fun, linear sort of direction for sure. But then on a professional side, we're constantly working with um, a lot of these funds, bringing uh, trading houses of the US, trading houses of India, Dubai, Japan, Korea, to use Avantis, integrate Avantis. Yeah, I mean, it's a big sort of push from all directions.
Awesome. I think, good talk with you, Piyush. I think we got the gist of it, what Avantis is doing, what are the, cool facts and where the perp area is being, heading towards. Thanks for doing this. And, we hope that the Avantis grows. We are ourselves are big advocates of Avantis. I think hands down is that's the best perp product I have used in terms of usability, the usage and everything. Yep, I think thanks for doing this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Very nice talking to you all. See you.
Yeah. Just before leaving, Piyush, I just want one question from you. Like, apart from perps and I think DeFi, do you see any other sector that interests you in terms of crypto specifically?
Well, it's not directly crypto, but it's just using crypto as rails. So this Web 2.5 sort of art that we'll soon get onto, where um, we'll be able to like something that Aave is doing, right? They are essentially a neobank now that you can everything is on chain, but you KYC, and you can deposit funds. You can earn like a high APY on it. It's very simple, very compact. There's no complication, and I think these products will thrive. And yeah, I've built around 3 4 products in this realm, like yield aggregation, like a bot that sort of finds out where the best yield is on what chain and sort of like goes and loads funds there. But yeah, it's interesting to say the least. I'm very excited about that segment picking up as well.
Got it. I hope we get all the updates on the community that you started back then. I think it needs to get active on the market.
Yeah, it needs to get very active. But then, like at a on a high level, there are like anciently there have always been two industries that have existed. One is lending, borrowing, and second is speculation. So these two things have never gone away from humanity, and I think these were the industries that will sort of end up thriving always.
Perfect. Thanks, Piyush, for doing this, and hope you liked it.
Thanks so much.